It's not. To me, it just looks like little patches with words. Like this, it's shiny.
Okay. Now, what I like about this book, if you are careful with your possessions and you're not rough with your possessions, this is a very interactive book because you can see it has little things that flip. See? But if you're rough with it, you'll tear it. So you're gonna be very careful. So let's read what this says. This page is trying to tell us that archaeologists can go digging around in the sand, and if they're very careful, they can discover things like this. A jar that was from 2630 BC. That's 4,600 years old.
No, I don't look at this one.
Okay, look at this. A pharaoh and, what does it say? Nope, not Nofret? Reading upside down. 2500 BC, so this is 4,500 years old. Right? And then they find over here. This is about almost 4,000 years old. So these are the things that were found around the pyramids. See that?
That's a pop-up.
Yeah.
I like these kind of books so much.
Okay. So there's a step pyramid, and then the step pyramid was a great sort of a courtyard, and these were dwellings and buildings. You see? This shows the insides of the pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza, you know, it's pretty dense inside. There's not like a lot of hollow room in there. They had these big shafts, and they're still trying to figure out what the shafts inside were for. These were not burial chambers. Some theories think that there was maybe some energy that got flown through there. Okay, look at this. So here's a bracelet, an armband. Okay. This is a jar. This is this would have been inside of this box. You would have had the sarcophagus. Now this is a miniature, right? So inside the box, you'd have this sarcophagus, and then inside this sarcophagus, you'd have another sarcophagus. And then inside of that, you'd have a mummy wrapped. So there'd be layers of protection, and they were trying to keep out grave robbers.
Why is that one mummies?
Well, the ancient Egyptians believed that they could preserve their body, if they preserved their bodies, that they would preserve themselves in after death, in the afterlife.
Why?
And they would put a lot of personal items inside the sarcophagus.
I have an Egyptian pyramid, and I have this, but inside. But you know what? I have. So there's really this, and then when you open it, there's a mummy.
Exactly.
And then when you open the mummy, there's a skeleton.
Exactly. The mummy basically is the skeleton preserved, right?
So why didn't they want the grave robbers to get them?
Because these are precious items. There's gold and there's jewels, and they don't want people just coming in and taking them away, right?
And they don't want the robbers to find them because they're put inside.
Exactly. So that's why they would put them in these boxes, and there would be about 4 of these boxes, one after the other. So you'd have a box, and then a box, and a box, and a box, and a sarcophagus, and then a sarcophagus, and a sarcophagus, and then finally the mummy. Usually about 7 or 8 layers before you get down to the actual body. So it'd be a huge box. The only problem with a huge box is it kind of announces itself. Like, hey, look, huge box. Look inside.
Maybe there's a skeleton inside there.
Maybe. Hi, you guys. Nice sword.